This is a public meeting of the Board of Education, Clark Public Schools. Adequate notice of this meeting has been given in accordance with PL 1975, Chapter 231. The special notice was made in conformance with Section 13 of the Act.
Get a motion to return to public? Motion. Ms. Grayo, followed by Ms. Akalonis. Roll call, please.
All in favor?
Oh. Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, so at this point, let's rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, can I get a roll call, please?
Ms. Akalonis?
Here.
Mr. Bensavingo?
Here.
Mr. Bone? Mr. Breedy?
Here.
Ms. Guerrero?
Here.
Ms. Harrison? Ms. Hickman?
Here.
Mr. Lewis?
Here.
Mrs. Smorl?
Here.
And Mr. Dunkersloot.
Here.
Having 8 board members, we have a quorum.
Thank you. At this point, Mr. Grande for the Board of Education Showcase.
Good evening. Tonight we have the honor of recognizing our Governor's Educators of the Year, and each building can nominate up to 2 different individuals. A Teacher of the Year, who is just what you would think, a classroom teacher, and then an educational support professional who serves our children in a non-classroom teaching role, such as a counselor, child study team member, an athletic trainer, a paraprofessional aide, and a variety of other positions. In recent years, the New Jersey Department of Education put a strict procedure into place through which these individuals are to be selected in each district and each school across the state. In the early fall, each individual school sends out an appeal for nominations to its individual school community. Parents, teachers, community members, even students can nominate. And then a few months after all the nominations are received, a committee of various stakeholders, representative of the different groups who can nominate, are convened, and those nominations are scored via a rubric. And it's just that, it's more than just evaluating them with the rubric, it's actually scoring them. And the Department of Education is very particular that no external information can be entered into the process. It's supposed to be strictly what's in the written nominations. All of that good stuff brings us to where we are today, and I'd like to call forward Mrs. Oliveira and Mrs. Bosque, ALJ principal and assistant principal, to begin the recognition process for their school.
Good evening. It is my honor to introduce to you today Mr. Anthony Del Conte, our Arthur L. Johnson Educator of the Year. One of my first observations of Mr. Del Conte was in the high school cafeteria. Although this isn't his assigned duty, he frequents this location in order to ensure the positive behaviors of our students and athletes. As he circulated the space, I noticed something. Many of the students would stand up when he walked by to shake Mr. Del Conte's hand. They would even walk over to him at times to offer this greeting. Students respect Mr. Del Conte, and in turn, he helps to support a climate of respect in our building. He clearly takes his role as an educator seriously and understands the overall responsibility to encourage and cultivate a love of learning in each of his students. However, the respect and support that he gives does not end with his students and athletes. Mr. Del Conte is often referred by staff members as a supportive, collaborative, and inspiring educator who goes above and beyond to support all levels of learners in the classroom. Ms. Mary DiTillo, who works closely with Mr. Del Conte in the classroom, had this to say: Anthony is the shining example of an outstanding educator. As an in-class resource teacher, I've had the opportunity to work with many teachers at ALJ. While they are all excellent in their own way, Anthony is one of the best teachers that I've ever worked with. His passion for math, his students, his athletes, and the ALJ community is unmatched. His genuine love and concern for every student and member of the ALJ community is evident every day, and in his support of me as the co-teacher in his room. He has gone above and beyond in including, supporting, collaborating, which in turn allows me to provide the best support I can for not only my students, but at times for Anthony as well. As a fellow educator and mother, if I chose one exemplary educator to work with my own children, it would be Anthony Del Conte. It is no surprise that he was awarded this honor. It is one he truly deserves. In addition to his classroom and culture contributions, Mr. Del Conte also serves on several formal committees in our building. As part of these teams, he is often called upon for his opinion, his expertise, and his institutional knowledge. He provides many suggestions and solutions in order to improve the culture and all aspects of our school. Del is not just a teacher. He is a coach, a mentor, an advisor, a support system, and so much more. I am personally thankful for all of our staff members, but especially Mr. Del Conte. The positive effect that he has on our students and our school every day makes Johnson a better place. Congratulations. Come on up, Mr. Del Conte. Want to say anything? You don't have to, no pressure. Congratulations, Del. Thank you so much. Welcome. Thank you, guys. Awesome. Want to smile? Here we go. You're not even looking up. You're making us look bad.
Good evening, everybody. I am so excited to be the person to present our Educational Support Professional of the Year award tonight to Jonathan Ranelli. Jonathan Ranelli, our athletic trainer, has been part of ALJ Athletics for 16 years. While his schedule is different than most of those of the faculty and staff members, he spends countless hours attending to our student athletes. A lot of what he does is behind the scenes, but make no mistake about the influence of a great athletic trainer. Jonathan is the epitome of professionalism. He maintains communications with parents, he is well respected by his peers in the industry, and he treats athletic injuries as they need to be treated, through methods of rest and rehabilitation, through the use of physical therapy, strength training, and cardio work to make sure our athletes get back on the field as soon as possible. Our students trust him. They count on him to get them back on track, and they wind up developing strong bonds with him as a person. John is one of the most genuinely kind people I know. Personally, I view our friendship, which was forged on the field hockey field over numerous seasons, as one that is strong and steady. Jonathan is always there for others when they need him. He is simply a great human. He is also a terrific father and a great friend. We are so proud to have him on our athletic staff as a member of the Johnson community. Congratulations, Jonathan. You are so deserving of this honor.
Thank you, Mrs. Oliveira and Mrs. Poskey. And now Mr. Delmonico and Mrs. Clark for Crumpf Middle School.
Good evening. It is my pleasure to present this award to Lauren Caesar. She goes above and beyond in her daily activities as a teacher at Crumpf Middle School. She's exceptionally skilled and is able to handle a multitude of tasks on a daily basis. This year, she became a co-advisor of the Unified Sports Program. She has been able to bring the club together at several events, including the Turkey Splash, where Crumpf won 2 trophies. Lauren has been praised by parents as, quoting, "a teacher who keeps the lines of communication open and is always available to help, explain, or re-explain when needed. Lauren makes herself available to cover classes when needed and is always saying, 'How can I help?' when a situation arises. She is highly respected by all of her colleagues and by both students and parents as well. Lauren also makes herself visible in the community. Overall, I cannot think of a better teacher for this award. Congratulations, Lauren."
Good evening. Congratulations to all the award winners tonight. They're all well-deserving. Anthony and Jonathan, pleasure for you. This year, I have the pleasure of awarding the ESP Award for Come School to a former student, and I always like presenting these to a former student. Back in 2002, my kids in soccer telling me about this kid's going to transfer over from Broadway. And it's like, he's really a nice kid, he's a good player, and this, that, and the other thing. Okay, well, we never count until they actually come home or come to the school. And in 2003, he showed up and was the politest, nicest kid you could ever expect for an 8th grader as he's transferring to school. Over a few years after that, he went on to ALJ. He stopped playing soccer for some reason, I don't know why. Still trying to figure that one out. But he went through there, graduated from ALJ, went to Kane and got his bachelor's in health and physical education. Okay, after he graduates, chances have it, who does he come back to? He comes back to ALJ, and I'm the principal. And I was fortunate enough to have him as the phys ed teacher. At that time, you got to see what a mature young man he became and how much he really cared about students and how this was the right profession for him. He, at some point, wound up back at the elementary school and taught phys ed there, and got his master's degree in counseling. At that time, again, it showed everybody at the school how much he cared about the kids and how much he cared about the school system. Last year, our guidance counselor retired, and Mr. Sortino put in for being the counselor at the middle school, and we were fortunate enough that everything worked out, and he came up to us. And he is just such a caring and the nicest guy with the kids. Anything we ask of him, he's willing to help. He's in the lunchroom constantly. Any activity that we want, he will participate in. He will start different things. He started with the kids having tutoring time with him to help them with study skills at lunchtime. Always things for that. This year, he also is, just to give you an idea about what he is, we had a student come into school and new to the school, and he told the kid, talked to him about music and this other thing. He said, oh, I play music, I get involved in music. And the next day, Joe shows up with a guitar, brings the kid to his office, and they're practicing the guitar in there. He's sort of regretting it because the kid tries to get him every day now to play the guitar at lunchtime, but he does it so well. Joe is vested in this town, he's vested in this school system, and that's what we love to see in Clark schools. And Joe, we're very proud of you, and you're such a great fit for our school, and we really appreciate everything you've done, and congratulations for this honor, it's well deserved.
Thank you, Mr. Delmonico and Mrs. Clark. And now Mrs. Bergen to speak on behalf of the two FKH winners.
Good evening, everyone. I have the pleasure and the honor to introduce both our Teacher of the Year and our Educational Support Services professional for Henley School. I'll begin with our Teacher of the Year, Linda Hayes. Linda is a skilled and dedicated teacher. Over the years, she has taught 1st and 5th grades and was a computer teacher for grades K through 5. Currently, Linda is an academic enrichment instructor teaching basic skills to at-risk learners. Linda is an accommodating and versatile educator so that students meet with success. In addition to a master's in reading literacy, Linda is trained in Orton Gillingham and implements the program to assist at-risk learners to close the existing learning gaps and build their foundational skills. Linda has a propensity for math as well, which has served her in her efforts to teach math in the general education setting and now to teach students struggling with learned math concepts so they meet expectations in this area. Linda is a goal-driven professional with commitment to the social and academic growth and development of every child. Although Linda is now a small group teacher, When approached, she has covered classes in the general education settings, especially during COVID, and as a result of the current teacher shortage, she moved back into the classroom twice this year without hesitation. First and foremost, Linda knows the value in creating a learning environment where students can flourish. By implementing the district SEL program, she sets the stage so that all learners feel cared for and confident despite their diverse learning needs. As a team player and one who values peer collaboration, Linda transitioned into the classroom setting smoothly, each time refamiliarizing herself with the grade-level curriculum. She has strong classroom management skills, but at the same time endears students with her soft-spoken and caring ways, and is able to tailor her lessons to meet the needs of all learners. Linda is an assisted lead CEA union representative for the staff. She runs the faculty social committee and has headed fundraisers to support mental illness research. Linda strives to lift others up. She has gained respect of staff and parents alike as she is kind and thoughtful. She is one that you can count on for assistance. Linda shares her love of technology and her skills to troubleshoot issues for others. She uses her skills to create teacher instructional materials that are engaging, especially for our youngest learners. Linda is a consummate professional with a strong work ethic. She is the epitome of what it means to be an exceptional educator and most deserving of this recognition, Governor's Teacher of the Year. And now our Educational Support Services professional, Christine Greenbush. Christine is a paraprofessional who is known throughout the school to have patience, compassion, and the ability to work without reservation with any child. Christine is Crisis Prevention Institute trained. She has been a skilled and dedicated paraprofessional, both as a classroom aide and as an individual aide. Christine knows well students' needs for structure and routine, and how providing this environment will benefit them in the end. She demonstrates her belief that building a rapport of trust and respect goes a long way. Christine is a go-to person when support is needed for children experiencing anxiety or stress in the school setting. She is a natural at calming students and helping them to self-regulate. She takes her role seriously and is dedicated to meeting students' needs. Christine collaborates very closely with classroom and special education teachers and her paraprofessional colleagues. To meet the needs of some of the most challenging students, Christine has sought out new behavioral strategies by collaborating closely with the district behaviorist, occupational therapist, school psychology, and case manager. She is well-liked and respected by teachers, staff, and students. Parents often request her for classroom aid when to give their children support. She is a valued member of the Henley staff and very well deserving of the title of Educational Sports Services Professional of the Year.
Thank you, Mrs. Bergen. And now Mr. Beltramba and Ms. Applebaum for the Valley Road School.
First of all, congratulations to all the winners tonight. I'm going to speak on behalf of Melissa Sikowski, our VRS person, who was selected as Teacher of the Year. Mrs. Sikowski is a great asset to the Valley Road School community. In the classroom, she implements routines so students know what to expect and what is expected of them. By the way, she's a first grade teacher, so it's a little difficult in grade 1. This year, she started implementing the Orton-Gillingham methods for teaching early reading. She willingly works with students of all different learning abilities and successfully modifies so all the students find success in her class. Mrs. Sikowski plays a key role in VRS. She has been the grade level rep, so she has leadership skills, and she's done that for multiple years. And she is also part of the Cultural Arts Committee, which helps provide educational and fun activities for the students and staff. She was also one of the creators of our new thing, the Thanksgiving Parade with balloons. And she wasn't only the creator of it, she was the announcer, and I think she does better than the people on TV, and she was funny. Mrs. Sikowski attends our school reading events and evening events that can be found. And she can also be found at various sporting events around town in the evenings and afternoons. She never misses the school play or the variety show, so she's very active with our school. Melissa sets high expectations for her students. The students are able to reach these expectations early on because of her interactive modeling and scaffolding. For example, she does many lessons that involve centers or stations. Her first grade students are able to participate and run these centers without her assistance because she trains them so well in the beginning of the year. And they can do that by themselves successfully because of Melissa's outstanding facilitation skills. She also uses conferences and small groups to target instruction and make every student successful. Melissa also has a lot of technology platforms to foster high student engagement in the classroom, and that's also difficult with grade 1 students. Her Google Classroom is amazing with all the resources she has available. She also uses technology to keep in constant communication with parents. She's always sharing her knowledge with other teachers and even the administration. She tries to make teacher life easier for the staff. She also each year trains our new teachers several times with some of her platforms. Melissa basically is an all-round exceptional person with whom we have the pleasure of working. She is loved by her students and coworkers. Her dedication shines through in her impeccable work ethic. She truly deserves the Teacher of the Year Award for Valley Road School for 22-23. Congratulations.
Valley Road School's Educational Services Professional of the Year is Miss Dara Lipari. Dara is a highly effective paraprofessional with an incredible desire and determination for ensuring every child under her care has a successful school year. Dara is an administrator's dream. I can recall countless situations when we were short-staffed and she would just look at me and say, "Mallory, I'll do whatever you need me to do." And she really means it. Dara is flexible, highly knowledgeable about reward systems, and always thinking outside the box. She is an amazing resource to her colleagues and a believer in teamwork. Her experience, talent, patience, sense of humor, and understanding of students with special needs are assets that help students thrive in school. Although it is not required, Dara has chosen to become a registered behavior technician, RBT, in order to further her knowledge about best practices for dealing with challenging behaviors. Furthermore, she gives back to the community by working as a dog trainer for the Seeing Eye organization. As such, Dara helps to enhance the independence, dignity, and self-confidence of people who are blind through the use of specially trained Seeing Eye dogs. Ms. Dara Lipari demonstrates on a daily basis why she deserves to be the Educational Services Professional of the Year. We are so lucky to have her. Congratulations.
He's getting ready for Easter, yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Beltram and Ms. Applebaum. And now to conclude this portion of the meeting, we're going to call Ms. Viola forward for the Preschool Annex Award winner.
Good evening, everyone. Congratulations, winners. Tonight, I am both honored and proud to present the ESP Award to Mrs. Tara Tirado. While Mrs. Tirado couldn't be with us tonight, I'd be remiss not to boast and brag about her. Tara epitomizes the word team player. She's compassionate, empathetic, patient, and understanding. She treats our preschoolers as if they're her own. Tara is an asset to the preschool and the district. She comes in smiling, happy, funny, engaged, and she inspires our students. Tara goes above and beyond for Clark and for our students, and we're quite lucky to have her. Thank you.
Thanks, Ms. Viola. And let's once again congratulate all of tonight's winners. And a special thanks to our faculty and staff across all of our schools, because we're really fortunate to have a superstar team, and I know we're all very grateful to them and for all they do for our students. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Grande. Mr. Lewis?
Yes, I want to take this moment first to thank the stars out there, our teachers who have become staff member stars. The Clark School District is proud and thankful to have this type of education being delivered by the staff. I also would like to thank our administration. I think the administration in Clark is fantastic. I think you do an outstanding job, and never take good administrators for granted. Never look the other way when you have people that are all on the same team. And we could look at this in Coach Del Conte's eyes as a coaching moment to say we are a team. But I would be remiss of being on the board for a while with Mrs. Acalonis to say the great architect of the Clark schools, the person who's put this all together and made teachers, support people, administrators feel important is Ed Grande. This is Ed Grande's school system that has had full stability in the schools. And I would say this, Ed, and I know you're going to find this not the guy that wants to be up for the flair. You've made it happen. Congratulations, Ed, for your staff and all the work that you people do.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Any other comments? Okay, so before we move on, we're going to stop for 5 minutes. So if anybody wants to pack their bags and go, you're more than welcome. Or you can stay for the rest of the meeting. It's up to you. So, no one's leaving?
You don't want to stay and watch.
Excuse me. Can we move it along? We just want to, one more picture, Coach, and let's go. Okay. So with that, we're going to continue the meeting. If you guys just behave in the back corner back there. Okay. All right, so moving on, approval of minutes. Can I get a motion? Ms. Guerrero, followed by Ms. Hickman. Can I have any questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Ms. Akalonis?
Yes.
Mr. Bensavinga?
Yes.
Mr. Breedy?
Abstain.
Ms. Guerrero?
Yes.
Ms. Hickman?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Mr. Smurl?
Yes.
And Mr. Dunkersloot?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. At this time, we will open the floor to the public for agenda items only. So if there's anybody from the public that would like to comment on any agenda items, now would be the time. Seeing none, we'll move on from that part. We'll move to personnel. We have items 1 through 9. Can I get a motion? Personnel, 1 through 9. Ms. Hickman, followed by Mr. Smurl. Questions or comments? Roll call.
Ms. Akalonis?
Yes.
Mr. Bensavinga?
Yes.
Mr. Breedy?
Yes.
Ms. Guerrero?
Yes on 7 and 9, and abstain on the rest.
So 1 through 6, you abstaining?
I'm abstaining on
1 through 6?
1 through 6 and 8.
Thank you. Ms. Hickman?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Mr. Smurl?
Yes.
And Mr. Dunkersloot?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Curriculum, we have item number 10. Ms. Akalonis, followed by Ms. Hickman. Any questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Ms. Akalonis?
Yes.
Mr. Bensavinga?
Yes.
Mr. Breedy?
Yes.
Ms. Guerrero?
Yes.
Ms. Hickman?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Mr. Smurl?
Yes.
And Mr. Dunkersloot?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Now we have board governance items 11 through 16. Can I get a motion? Mr. Bensavenga, followed by Mr. Greedy. Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Ms. Akalonis?
Yes.
Mr. Bensavinga?
Yes.
Mr. Breedy?
Yes.
Ms. Guerrero?
Abstain on 14, 15, and 16, and yes on the rest. 11.
Hickman?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Mr. Smurl?
Yes.
And Mr. Dunkersloot?
Yes.
Motion carried.
And then finally, yes. What? You good? Okay, sorry. Finance, we have items 17 through 26. Can I get a motion? Mr. Smurl, followed by Mr. Breedy. Any questions or comments on that? Roll call.
Ms. Akalonis?
Yes.
Mr. Bensavinga?
Yes.
Mr. Breedy?
Yes.
Ms. Guerrero?
Abstain on 17, 18, 19, 21, 23. Yes on 20 and 24, 25, 26.
Ms. Hickman?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Mr. Smurl?
Yes.
And Mr. Dunkersloot?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, at this point, Mr. Grande, back to you.
Good evening, and thank you, Mr. Donkersloot. Once again, many congratulations to our Governor's Educators of the Year. On this evening's agenda is the retirement of Gail Lombardi, 32 years in our district, most recently teaching AEI, our basic skills program at Valley Road School. Gail couldn't be here tonight, but asked me to read the following on her behalf. Dear board members, Mr. Grandy, and the administration of the Clark BOE, I would like to thank you for giving me the opportunity to teach in the Clark school system. I will always remember the look on my students' faces when they understood something that they were struggling with in class, or when they came to see me, excited to announce that they accomplished something that they thought was unattainable. The twinkle in their eyes gave me such joy. My goal during my 45 years of teaching was to make each child feel successful each and every day that they were in my care. Teaching for me is not a job, but a passion that has given me the best 32 years of my life here in Clark. Clark will always be in my heart. Sincerely, Gail Lombardi. And we wish Gail the best of luck on her next life adventures. On this evening's agenda, we're also approving the extended school year program for our special needs students to be held during the month of July. Earlier this afternoon was our ALJ Turf Complex opening ceremony. And as was said this afternoon, our Board of Education and Township officials are deserving of many thanks. And most importantly, best wishes to our spring athletes and their coaches for a successful season. Tomorrow night is the district-wide band bonanza at 7 p.m. It's essentially a district-wide concert in the ALJ Lower Gymnasium. And then this Friday the 7th, spring break begins with schools reopening on Monday the 17th. Best wishes for good spring holidays to our entire school community. Thank you and have a great evening.
Thank you, Mr. Grande. Moving on, we'll move to report of the committees.
I actually have something I'd like to report.
Yes, Ms. Grande.
New Jersey School Board, the County Association leadership had a meeting on March the 25th, and there were a couple of points that were brought up. The most important was that the New Jersey School Board Association completed and presented a firearm safety task force report. Unfortunately, in this day and age, school safety and gun safety has been a critical issue around the United States. And so this report was presented from New Jersey School Boards. Part 1 has to do with firearm acquisition, safe gun use, and secure storage. Part 2 has to do with community safety alliances and emotional and mental health in school climate. Unfortunately, firearm safety is the leading cause of death among American children and adolescents. It is imperative, therefore, that local boards of education work with parents and guardians, students, and the community at large to promote firearm safety, prevent gun violence, and address its physical and emotional toll on our children. This report is available on the NJSBA website, and it includes sections having to do with conclusions and recommendations, suggested actions that boards of education can do in partnership with its community. They also talked about a dues assessment. The dues had not been raised in 14 years, and there will be an increase for the 23-24 school year. It has gone, the annual dues is $1,073, which is a 2% increase over the 2009-2010 school year, the last time it was increased. There will be more information to come, and the dues will be adjusted annually based on the district's budget. And then one other topic was the New Jersey School Boards Association membership in the National School Board Association. Apparently, there's been a lot of strife going on the national level. Almost 50% of the state associations have left the National Association. New Jersey leadership had been working with the National School Board Association to try to make changes, but that did not happen, and so New Jersey Executive Board voted to not to renew its membership in July of 2023, and the Executive Board will be working on a national vision for education in New Jersey in the coming year, and more information will follow as it becomes available.
Thank you, Ms. Grail. Any other report of the committees? All right, moving on to unfinished or new business. Mr. Small?
Yeah, I'd just like to add a little color to the opening of the new turf complex. First of all, Mr. Kalikas did a wonderful job as the master of ceremonies. It was really well done, and we had some great attendance from our board. Mr. Breedy, Mr. Dunkersluth, Mr. Vanzabanga, and Ms. Akalonis had attended. Mr. Fasuzu and Mr. Grande were both there, along with Mayor Bonacorso. And I look in the audience and I see that Mr. Caldero was there, along with Ms. Pasque and Ms. Oliveira. So we had really a great turnout. It was a beautiful day. As Mr. Kalikas said, we were blessed with a Crusader blue sky. We're really excited about the complex. There's some loose ends that we still have to tie up, but we're going to get there. But it looked spectacular. So just wanted to add a little color to today's events.
Thank you, Mr. Small. And I heard the first pitch was straight down the middle and was a strike.
with some zip on it.
Congratulations to that, Mr. Small. All right, so moving on, do we have, Matthew's not here today, so at this point, we'll open up the floor to the public for any comments. Seeing none, can I get a motion to adjourn? All in favor? Thank you, have a good night.